He's got the toys. He's got showmanship. And he's got sex appeal. Ladies and gentlemen, from the great Southwest, here's the guru of gadgets, the dapper and dashing Don Baine, the Gadget Professor. Gadget Professor.
Well, hello, everyone. It's Don Baine, the Gadget Professor, coming to you live from our Scottsdale, Arizona home studio. We were unable to get into the studio today. It's quite busy there, which is fine. So we are going to record the Gadget Professor at home today. We are on episode 206. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're new to the Gadget Professor, welcome on board. And if you're old, welcome back. Without going through a lot of detail, the easiest way to get the Gadget Professor, quite frankly, is just to subscribe using iTunes. We're also on the Roku box, and quite frankly, you can just go to our beautiful, wonderful homepage at thegadgetprofessor.com, and you can watch the episodes right there. And all the episodes, actually, if you look at the webpage, are chronologically in order, so you can go back, even right back to the first original episode. And boy, have we come a long way. So let's get right into it today. We have some cool things. The first thing I'll tell you is you can email me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com, thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. If you'd like to follow us on Twitter, we just go to @gadgetprofessor, @gadgetprofessor on Twitter. And certainly, last but not least, you want to subscribe to the show notes. Go to our webpage. Right there in the middle, on the right-hand side, you'll see newsletter. Click that button, and you'll get the free show notes every Thursday evening as soon as a new episode comes out. So there you go. All right, we have a lot of hacking news today. Bad hacking news, bad. This one's really annoying. Hackers are draining, I'll repeat, hackers are draining bank accounts via the Starbucks app. Isn't that nice? So if you have the Starbucks app, guess what? Thieves are stealing money from people's credit cards, bank, and PayPal accounts. Wonderful. By first tapping into their Starbucks mobile app. Starbucks acknowledged on Wednesday that criminals have been breaking into individual customer rewards accounts and so on and so forth. So they have been big time hacked. And they denied it for a while, but it's all over the press right now, and you can read about it. Pretty nasty, pretty nasty. And let's see here. I'm getting a message. We'll just knock that off. All right. Rolling right along with hacks. I kid you not. Hard Rock's Las Vegas Hotel and Casino has been hacked. Wonderful. Las Vegas casinos are renowned for their stringent physical security. Security cameras and bouncers, they're all over the place. They don't necessarily discourage the cyber attackers because they're just sitting in their underwear, probably in bed, just hacking in and having fun, draining people's bank accounts, taking your credit cards. This time, they are stealing from Hard Rock Cafe credit card data. Wonderful, wonderful. And they won't admit how much has been taken, but the criminal attack was limited to credit card or debit card transactions between September 3rd, 2014 and April 2nd, 2015 at restaurant, bar, and retail locations at the Hard Rock Las Vegas property. Yikes. Including the Culinary Dropout, which is a very popular restaurant in Vegas. So the letter says from Hard Rock that the information that was stolen includes names, credit card numbers, CVV verification codes, but not PIN codes. Yikes. That's been going on for over a year. Give me a break. I mean, it's pretty scary. Not quite a year, 2014, September to April 2nd, but even so, what a mess. So you can never be too secure, and you never know where those hacks are going to come from. All right, let's get off that subject. Let's get on to some fun stuff. I have a lot of fun apps for you this week. This is a fun app. I myself don't use it, but I could see little kids, teenagers using that, and younger. And it's kind of a fun app. It's called ModiFace's Web Makeover app. Enables you, or anybody you know, to try on new hair colors on your iPad, your iPhone, or your Android device. And other applications include the most realistic color looks and styles available. So this is actually an app that you can download, and it's free, and it's a lot of fun. And if you go to Google Play, on the Android and go to ModiFace, you can see that they have a free hair color studio, a free eye color studio, virtual makeover, celebrity hairstyles, makeup. You get the general thing here. It's just, virtual nail salon, Princess Girl's hair. They've got about 30 free apps that you can play around with and give the kids something to do, and they can see how beautiful they look. Even if you're an adult, then you might want to try something out. You can check this out. And you guys, if you want to get a new hairdo or have your nails painted, you can check them out by using any one of these ModiFace apps. And if you want to send me the photos, I'll be happy to air them on the Gadget Professor. So there you go. Now, this is an interesting app. This is a list of the full listing of emoticons, and it's like emotions. So this tells you what the shortcut codes would be. So they have them for Facebook, they have them for Skype. All you have to do is just Google emoticons for Facebook, emoticons for Skype, or whatever it is that you want to get the emoticons for. And it actually shows you on the left-hand side there the icon, what the icon would look for. And then it shows you that it's called Smile, and it shows you the shortcuts. So if you were to type in these shortcuts, this is the photograph, or the photograph, but this is the emoticon that you would get. And there are tons and tons of them, and you can actually print this out, maybe even memorize them, and a lot of fun, a lot of interesting things that you can get. Now, this is a very important an add-on to your browser, and it doesn't matter whether you're using Firefox or the Android or Opera, but this is called HTTPS, and HTTPS is everywhere on the web. It's a Firefox, Chrome, and Opera extension that encrypts your communications with many major websites. And what it does is it makes your browser more secure. So what you want to do is install this add-on to your browser. It's called Install HTTPS Everywhere. And depending upon the type of browser, there is an add-on that you can add to your browser's repertoire. And what this will do is this quickly verifies that the HTTPS, that website, is secure, and it will prevent hackers from getting in and all kinds of bad stuff that could happen to you. So it's totally free. You definitely want to use this. It will, how do I say? Let's see here. Went in and actually said that, for instance, people may try to unencrypt the HTTP or file encrypted page with links that go back to an unencrypted site. HTTPS Everywhere extension fixes these problems by using clever technology to rewrite requests to these sites, and basically it's security, free security for you. So I would urge you to check this app add-on and definitely install it. Now, speaking of fun apps, we're all on our iPhones a lot, and Photoshop has a app that costs money, but they also have Adobe Photoshop Express that is free. And I have to tell you, for the price, you're going to be hard-pressed to find any app that deals with photographs on your phone, on your smartphone, that's going to give you the robustness of feature sets that this particular app has. So if you would like to really edit and fine-tune those photographs, and if you're using your smartphone, particularly your iPhone, as your go-to main camera when you travel because it's easy to hold on to and easy to use, you'll definitely want to download this Adobe Photoshop Express, because it will do a wonderful job of giving you a lot of variety and special effects to add to your existing photographs. So you definitely want to check that out. Now we're going to go to the gadget of the day, and actually have two gadgets of the day. And you're wondering why. Well, these things kind of pair up. And what I'm going to do before I get into the gadgets of the day is I have a rant of the day. The Gadget Professor hasn't had a rant in a long time. Today's rant is probably, it's not the first, second, or third time. It's probably the 18th time. But the rant of the day is going to be with Verizon, of course. And just let you in on a little story that really is aggravating to me. As many of you know or may not know, I do have another home in Rhode Island. And actually next week the show, I hope, will be brought to you directly from our studio in Rhode Island. In any event, here's the deal. I had internet service there, and I leave it on year-round. Well, even though there's no one in the home, why would I do that? The reason I do that is because I use VoIP, Voice over Internet Protocol. I have actually a magic jack there, and if the alarm goes off, then it actually uses that as a dial-up, as a phone to dial out, so I need the internet for that. I also have a couple servers located in that house that I actually use to serve files to different businesses that I deal with, and it's another link, another stop, if you will, in our network that makes things go easier and so on and so forth. So I have that. I also have the internet kept on all year round because I have several security cameras there because I want to see if there's a pipe, God forbid, that's leaking, or I want to check the weather. I like looking at the snow when I'm in Arizona. So in any event, I leave the internet on all year. I do reduce the speed because I'm not uploading and downloading a lot, so I basically put it in the, away from home mode, and I don't need to pay for all that bandwidth. And that cost me, I think, about $50. It's Fios, and I love Fios. I will be honest about it. I think Fios is probably the best internet service available. That's just my own opinion. Now, here comes the rub. About 3 years ago, and this is pretty accurate, about 3 years ago, when I stayed there 3 or 4 months out of the year, which I don't now, I had television, Verizon Fios TV, which was great, which cost me, I think, about $100. And I would turn that off when we left for the 7 months that we'd be in Arizona, whatever it was. And that's the end of the story. So recently what happened is my credit card was actually compromised. What else is new? And that was about 4 months ago. And got a new credit card number. The long and the short of it is I did not know that Verizon in Rhode Island was on auto pay on that particular credit card. So after 2 or 3 months, they shut the service down, which I understand because they weren't being paid. So I realized that the server went down, the internet was off almost instantaneously, and I immediately figured out, non-payment, and then I realized what had happened. So I called them up, and unbeknownst to me, they said I owed them something like $1,000, and I said, wait a minute, it's only been 2 months and it's $50 a month. I should owe you about $100, maybe $150 the most with taxes, tips, and gratuities. No. You have internet and TV. And I said, whoa. I haven't had TV in over 2 years. And they go, oh, yes, you had. And I'm there, oh, no, I don't. And that just went on and on. Long story short, folks, I made about 5, 6, 7 phone calls in the last day. And they absolutely refused to acknowledge that I canceled the TV service, and it was over 2 years ago, so I don't have anything paper-wise to show them. It was done over the phone, and I challenged them to show me anything that I've signed that says I have the cable. Interestingly enough, they've been charging me for TV for 2 years that I don't have. There's no one even there to watch TV, and they could check their box by just going into it and see, hey, this guy's watched TV every day, or he's watched it an hour a week. No one's turned the TV on. And I just can't get through to these people. No way, no how. And it got to the point where I said, you know what? I'm not paying this bill. I don't mind paying for the 2 months of internet service because my card was compromised. I owe that. I don't have a problem. But if anything, I'm not going to pay the bill that went back, 2 years for TV. And quite frankly, you owe me money because you've been sucking that out of my credit card and I didn't know. So, you're saying, well, why didn't you know? Well, my wife was ill. She was handling that. It probably slipped through the cracks because if I ever knew I had TV service or supposedly had TV service, I would have been all over it. So in any event, that's my rant. Verizon has done absolutely nothing except demand that I pay the bill, and I am not going to pay the bill. So we'll keep you informed and see how that goes. Now, that brings us to the 2 gadgets of the day, because I have changed services, and I am not going to be using Verizon anymore because they won't service me anymore because I didn't pay the bill. So I have a new company that very graciously said they'd be delighted to have my business, and they were going to come over and fix everything up. So consequently, I needed a new modem and a new router because I don't want to rent one. So I will show you what I have picked out, and I actually use the same configuration right here from my home. So the first device that we'll talk about is the cable modem, And I have selected this device right here, and this is called the Surfboard Arris modem made by Motorola. And it's a great modem. It has all the latest feature sets. It's 4 times faster than DOCSIS 2.0, and DOCSIS really refers to a logarithm that they use to download and process the internet signal. Let's just leave it simple today. So you're on DOCSIS 3.0. It might be 3.1, 3.2. So you always want a router that has the latest DOCSIS so you can upload and download in a more efficient manner, and they're always changing that. So a good modem will let you upgrade, firmware upgrade. It's a little piece of software that you download and install it into your modem, so you're always on the latest DOCSIS. So this is what the modem looks like. It's nothing special, and it's very easy to hook up. It comes with a power supply. That's simple enough. And this is where your cable goes, and the cable hooks into here and feeds you internet, and the way you get the internet out of the cable modem is through this internet port. So this is where you will plug in to feed the next device, which is actually going to be our Linksys router, which we'll get to in a minute. And that's what this looks like, unopened. Now, why did I pick this particular device? This is the SB6121. Well, let's take a look at the internet page. And as you can see, the Surfboard cable modem, the SB6121, delivers you your complete personal media experience at incredible broadband speeds, which is what I want. It harnesses the power of DOCSIS 3.0 technology to bond up to 4, and this is what I like, 4 downstream channels and 4 upstream channels. This provides you with advanced multimedia services with downloads up to 172 MIPS in each direction. That makes surfing, shopping, and downloading far more realistic, faster, and more efficient than ever before. So it gives you itemizes all the functionality and the features, and that's pretty much why I selected it. The other reason I selected it is because I've been using this exact modem for about a year now here in Arizona, and I love it. It just works really well. Now here's the real kicker. If you're going to go buy a modem, first thing you have to make sure is that it's compatible with all the services that are out there. This is compatible with all cable services. So rather than spending $5 or $10 a month and renting the cable modem from your cable TV or your cable internet provider, buy it yourself and you own it, and that's the end of that. So it will pay for itself. Now, speaking of paying for itself, this usually sells for $100, and I actually got this refurbished from Amazon, and it's $70. So let me back off. This one is not refurbished. The next device is refurbished. So I'm buying this for $69. You can't beat this with a stick. There is absolutely nothing that this won't do that I need it to do. And for $70 on Prime, which is 2-day free shipping, I highly recommend this. And what I like about it in particular is that I'm able to dial into this. When I say dial in, I'm able to log into this and very easily change settings, which you can't do on a lot of different types of modems. So it's very easy to operate, very easy to update, and I like it a lot. Comes in its box, comes with the power supply, which is right here, and it even comes with an Ethernet cord. Not that you need another one, but it does come with that. And that's pretty much it. They have 24-hour support, and it doesn't get hot. It has great readout lights on it, so easy enough and very affordable. Now, the next device that I had to get was the actual router, and this one is a steal, in my opinion. I ended up with the Linksys EA3500, and I can actually tear this off now. But this is what it looks like, and I'll tell you, wait till you hear the cost on this, and wait till you hear what it does. This is equipped with the latest Linksys Smart Wi-Fi for easy setup and network management. Simultaneously broadcasts 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz frequencies, which means this is going to allow me to get full house coverage at 2 different frequencies, because the Wi-Fi that's enabled in this is going to be at 2.4 gig and at 5 gig. So the coverage and the strength of this Wi-Fi signal is absolutely excellent, and it's without any of the antennas. So it's pretty amazing, good technology. And again, I'm using this right now in my home, which is fairly large here in Arizona, and I don't have a dead spot in the home. This router even does outside for quite a distance. Now, this also has a new guest access feature, which makes sharing the internet access to other wireless devices possible while maintaining security. It's 4 gigabit Ethernet ports on the back will provide you faster data on your wired network. So on the back here, you can see that there's 4 ports, 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are colored in blue, not that you need them colored, but it makes it very easy if you're not technically inclined, so you don't have to really hassle hooking this up. You have 4 ports here where you can plug Ethernet cables in. The yellow cable, yellow color indicates your input. So what happens is I'm going to come out of this cable modem. Okay, I'll come out of the back, that Ethernet port, which is right here on top, and I'm going to go directly into this yellow input port here, the Ethernet port, and this will give me internet. So that's all good. Additionally, this is interoperable with wireless A, B, G, and N networks, which again is the current standard N to get you the furthest Wi-Fi, transmit the Wi-Fi as fast and as economically possible. It's Wi-Fi protected access 2, which is WPA2, that's your security. It has state packet inspection, SPI firewall, so that keeps out unauthorized people from trying to access your router. And this feature is really good, and this should be mandatory, I think, in all routers. It has what's called network address translation. You may know that as NAT. And this technology enhances the network protection by allowing your computers to share internet access through a single public internet access address, and I'll get to that in a minute. So it's very easy to set up, and one of the cool features that this has is a Wi-Fi protected setup button, WPS. So if you have client devices such as wireless printers that support Wi-Fi protected setup, all you do is press this Wi-Fi button and it automatically will configure to whatever that other device is. So it could be a printer, it could be a lot of different things. And there's a little button right here. I don't know if you could see it. It's a blue button. This is your WPS button. So if you were to buy a wireless printer and brought that to your home, and you don't have to run a wire, and you don't have to go in and put the username and the password and the network name on the printer. All you do is push the WPS button on the printer and push the WPS button on the router, and boom, it talks to each other, and that's it. So very, very, very handy feature, no question about that. The other thing that I like about this is that it has right here a USB port. And that's real important to me, and I'll tell you why. 2 reasons. One, if you have a USB printer or some other USB device that you want to hook up onto the internet, all you have to do is you can go right in here with a USB. The other thing that this will allow you to do, and what I use it for, is this USB port will allow you to put a hard drive on here. And what that will do, particularly if it's a NAS storage drive, is it allows you to have a hard drive that you can access anywhere on your internet connection. You can stream movies, photographs, upload, download, and this one little USB port makes that all possible. So you can put a 3-4 terabyte drive on the back of this quite easily and be able to access it. So there's 2 other features I'd like to call your attention to with this particular router. One is it has a reset button. So right there underneath, if you stick a paper clip in there, if at any point in time you want to reset this to the factory standards for whatever reason, this reset button is simple to use. That's very important. The other thing that I like about this is you can upgrade the firmware, which frequently happens. So the new Linksys Smart Router Wi-Fi E3500 router has an auto firmware update feature. With this, you'll be able to restore to a previously loaded firmware, and that's a real handy feature, and you can actually click there, and that will give you all the information that you need to know about how this actually works. It's very simple to use, and it shows you right there that the firmware grade is ready to go. You click on that, and you won't lose any of your settings. That's a nice feature. That alone is worth the price of admission. Now, speaking of price of admission, if you go on to Amazon, this is the deal of the day, I think. Here is this brand new, well, I shouldn't say brand new. This is the refurbished model that I was referring to. This sells for $45 on Prime. 1-day delivery if you're a Prime member. This is a phenomenal deal. I am not at all afraid that it's refurbished. It says certified refurbished. This actually went back to Linksys. They went over this from head to stern. It's like a brand new router, and the truth of the matter is I've been using this exact router refurbished for at least a year now, and I've had absolutely no problems, and I've upgraded the firmware I think twice, so it's still a current useful model. And for $45, you're just not going to find a better router at a cheaper price. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I think I went on a little bit longer than necessary, but I'm very excited about both these products. And for $45 for the router and for $70 for the modem, it's a great combination, very powerful and very useful. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Hopefully I will see everybody from our Rhode Island studio next week. So long from the Gadget Professor.
The Gadget Professor is produced by Don Baine,
Multimedia Communications, LLC.
If you would like your product reviewed on The Gadget Professor or would like to appear on The Gadget Professor, contact us via email at thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. The opinions expressed on the program by the host, guests, call-in listeners, or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. And thank you for watching The Gadget Professor.